Oh, this is going to be interesting. So I am doing this now. Yolopark had their AMK Pro Nemesis Prime on sale, and it's a Nemesis Prime, and the aftermarket prices on this thing are kind of obscene, so I figured now is the time. This is, I think, the first. No, not the first, but it's one of very few like unboxing first impression type videos I've done on the channel. I've done a couple, I think, for Patreon only, but this is going to be for everyone. And we're just going to go through it. So I've never messed around with AMK stuff before, or rather, I've never messed around with Yolopark stuff before. So I have no first-hand experience with any of this. I have not opened this box yet, so let's see what we're in for. And this is also going to be weird because I'm doing it upside down. But take off the slipcover, and yeah, that's pretty fancy. I dig that. Looks like we've got some tape up here, so we'll just cut that. And let us, we got a little bit of like packing peanut or something up there. Let us unbox this thing. And there we go. Also paperwork. Okay. So this is the assembly instructions. I'll just put that over here for now. Social media card thing, don't really need that. And then we have the kit proper, and that is pretty. There's another secondary tray underneath with all the accessories, it looks like. I guess let's start building this thing, so why don't we do that too? I'll just get the thing. Oh no, I don't have batteries for the headlight. Oh well. Hopefully you all will not mind me constructing this thing right side up so I can actually see it. And we could probably put this off to the side for now. Alright. That is pretty swish. So it looks like we're starting with the head. Does this have the battery in it? It does not have the battery in it. Okay. But there's the head. It's not my preferred Nemesis Prime head. I prefer the one that does not have the baseball cap visor on it, but that's fine. Gonna want back and the chest. Oh, this is surprisingly heavy. That's cool. Okay, I like that. Fortunately, I kept my spudger out here. So let's see if this... There we go. It's sticky. Gotta open them both at the same time, I see. So there we've got some nice detailing in there. And we want the matrix. Yep, there is the matrix. Looks pretty good. And it's all puckered on the one side for some reason. But this just pegs in there. And there we go. Now I never have to open that again. So now it looks like we just pop the head on. Just shove it into the joint there. There we go. And for the back, this just pegs in back here. I like that there's a cut in there for this piece of the... there you can see it. There's like a cut on the underside of this back piece so the waist section doesn't knock into things too much. Now we want the waist and the hip skirts. I don't want to just dump everything out, you know? So now we pop the hip skirts on, and it looks like it's just ball sockets, ball joints, just getting popped on there. Come on, pop on. There we go. Oh, I see. These are on little, like, the balls themselves are on little joints that allow them to swivel around. That explains why I was having trouble. Okay, pop that on. So there we go. One waist section. Okay, we don't plug the waist section into the body yet. Now we want to do the arms. So it looks like this is, again, pretty straightforward. Just take these out and plug them into each other. Grab his hands, plug those in there. And I'm just now realizing these flank pieces need to be added too. It's not in the instructions. There's nothing in the instructions there about actually putting the flank pieces on, so I'm going to do that now. Looks like these just slot in. I guess they do this for the sake of packing? I don't know. That's not too difficult to just put them on. It just is weird that the instructions don't mention it at all. And slide that in. There we go. All right, other arm. I enjoy how easy this is to put together. There we go. 2 arms. They just plug into the torso. Super simple. Then he's got his weapon accessories and stuff, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, there are panels for the backs of the arms that need to go on there, but I don't think they're in this tray. Okay, maybe they are in this tray. Where they are in this tray. Oh, I see them. They're hiding right up here, okay. Alright, so that is the right arm. That is the left arm. So these just peg into the bottom, right in here. Peg and pop that in. Alright, now he's got complete arms. Assembling the legs looks a little bit more involved. Okay, so we're doing this, and slapping on the fuel tank with the tapered side facing down, it looks like. So this should plug on here. That's very snug. Okay, so that plugs on. The front should peg over here. That's very simple. Oh, actually, it looks like we don't want to do this one yet. We want to do the knee pad first. And the knee pad slots in right here. Now we can plug this in. There we go. Where is the... Here's the back. The back is in the other tray. So this can peg in back here. If I can line up the pegs. What am I doing wrong here? There we go. Okay. So that is one almost done leg. Still gotta do the back of the thigh. I recognize this piece at least. There we go. There's the back of the thigh. And now foot. Let us foot. It looks like the toe, which this is die cast, that's pretty cool. Just pegs in here. Pegs in this way. Pegs in here. And this pegs up into the leg proper. There's a leg. That's a pretty nice leg. And this pegs into the thigh hip joint for the lower body. Alright. I'll take these out preemptively. Get this and finish up the thigh. Plug the gas can on. Again, very snug. That's never coming out again. Get the knee pad. Plug that in. And now, just for the heck of it, let's assemble the foot first. Plug that together. Shove that in there. Then get that in there and get this in here. And plug this in here, and finally just shove the two halves together, which is weirdly tricky. There we go. There we have Yolopark's AMK Pro Nemesis Prime. So let's see, the head can look around, can get some pretty darn good tilt. Let's check that up and down, also very good. Alright, the arms. Ah, you do get a forward butterfly. That's nice. No backward, but you do get forward. And they rotate all the way around, because of course they do. They go out to almost, but not quite 90. I think that's fine. There is a bicep rotation. Woo, that's a heck of an elbow joint. I like that. The wrists, they rotate, but they're like ball jointed. Okay, I wasn't really paying too much attention when I was building it, but they can go in and out, as well as up and down. Standard-ish masterpiece with like 3 fingers and then the index finger and the thumb. Well, not standard masterpiece, but not irregular. Kind of saw this before, but the waist does get some side-to-side motion and some ab crunch. Also rotates. The hips, I believe all of this stuff, yeah. Okay, so there's a single skirt in the back. The front skirts can get out of the way in a few different ways. And these side skirts, those have to move. Yeah, okay. Side skirt's very stiff, but it does move. So the leg can go out pretty far forward. Really nice. And back. Pretty nice. Is there a drop down on this? Oh, yep. Okay. So there is a drop down hinge there. So I was going to say, so it can actually go really far up, really nicely back and out just fine if you use the drop down. And then, of course, because of the connection, there is thigh rotation. The knee is, ooh, oh, that's lovely. That is super lovely. And then for the foot, it's got... Does it have any rocker? Quick addendum. In terms of the ankle articulation, I screwed up. So I've got the leg here. Sorry, buddy. I've got the leg here to show what I missed. Apparently, the whole reason why the foot wasn't really articulating is because this little flap here is actually supposed to shift down. And when that shifts down, it actually gets out of the way of that forward motion and the ankle tilt. So now you actually do get proper foot movement. It's still not like super dynamic, but like it's way better than when this is jammed up in there. So yeah, that's on me. Did not realize that's supposed to rotate down, and that gives you way better, even a little bit of rotation. That gives you way better leg articulations or ankle articulation. So I guess FYI, can bend up the toe. This is a pretty neat fellow. And it looks like we've got Ion Blaster, optional Energon Axe, an optional Megatron, and the rest of this is all stand stuff. So let's dump all this out here. And, okay. So the Decepticon logo here goes onto the peg on the front of the arm. And peg this onto the base. Peg this. Looks like the shorter peg goes into the claw arm. And the longer peg goes into the stand arm. Well, messed that up. I don't know how to do this without potentially busting the arm. Yeah, that might just be stuck at a weird angle. That's on me. That's not necessarily Yolopark's fault. Alright, let me mess around with this guy a little bit. Well, it's a little tricky to balance on the stand, but he is pretty darn posable, so that's pretty cool. I should also probably talk about the aesthetics here. It's very nice. I really like how they use this glossy finish for all the black parts and this kind of shiny, metallic-looking finish for all the metallic bits, like the thighs and the waist section and the grill and this chest and the shin vents and stuff. But then they gave it this kind of slightly weathered look, where it's all like scratched up looking and stuff. It's hard to see from back there, but if I bring this a little closer, maybe you can kind of see some of the weathering that they did on this thing. And it's very nicely detailed. And also, there's the back. That gloss is... but yeah, very nicely detailed. And kibble-free because it doesn't transform. He has a little communicator door on the side of his arm. That's ridiculous. I love that. This is neat. He's actually pretty sizable too. I should probably do a size comparison, huh? There we go. We'll bring in a version of a couple of modern Nemesis primes. There's Legacy Scourge, air quotes Scourge, and Commander Class Prime. It's a version of Studio Series 86 Prime, so you can see he is actually... it might be difficult to see from the angle, but he is a bit taller, a fair bit taller than Scourge, and he is actually a bit taller than, there we go, a bit taller than Studio Series. So this is a pretty substantially sized figure, I guess. I feel like model kit is the wrong word to use here. I like it. I do not regret getting this guy. He is neat, but this is kind of where my Yolopark journey ends, because I just don't want to start getting a whole bunch of Yolopark kits for characters that aren't Nemesis Prime. Highly recommend Do not pay aftermarket prices. As of recording, this guy is still available on Yolopark's website and even on sale. So I'll leave a link down in the description, but check that out first before attempting to do any kind of aftermarket stuff, because the difference, the discrepancy in price is almost insulting how much people are trying to charge for this thing on the aftermarket. But anyway, that's enough of that. This is the video I'm doing on this figure. I'm not going to be doing another video on this guy for Nemesis September. It is just this. Thought I'd try something a little different, because why not? It's a thing you got to build yourself, and I've never messed around with one of these things before. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think of AMK Pro Nemesis Prime, or any other AMK Pro or non-AMK Pro Yolopark kits. Feel free to drop recommendations down in the comments. I'm not going to do anything with that, but there are other people watching this who might enjoy some recommendations. Again, thank you all for watching, and, well, yeah, next video is also going to be a Nemesis Prime, because I'm not done with Nemesis Primes yet. We're getting there, but not yet.